You're stopped at a red light. Someone hits you from behind at 35 miles per hour. The airbags deploy. You're alive. 5 minutes later, you're dead. Without another impact. You survived the crash. The airbags went off. The car stopped moving. And now you have seconds to get out. Because the thing designed to protect you is about to trap you inside a burning wreck. And the people who built it knew this could happen. Right now, sitting in your driveway, there's a vehicle that, under the wrong conditions, will turn your escape route into a coffin, not a malfunction. Design. Intentional engineering that chose one priority over your survival. You're about to see the crashes, the warnings that were ignored. The reason surviving the impact is no longer enough, because what comes after is what kills you. Let's start with the thing nobody tells you when you buy a modern car. Your doors might not open when you need them to. Electronic door locks, convenient, keyless, and in a crash, potentially lethal. When the electronics fail, you're sealed inside. No power, no unlock, and the manual override, if your car even has one, is hidden somewhere you've probably never looked. In a documented Florida crash, a Tesla Model S hit a tree and the battery ignited. Flames engulfed the cabin in seconds. First responders couldn't get the doors open. The system was dead. The manual release was buried under trim panels that required tools to access. The driver survived the impact. He died trying to get out. In another reported case, a man walked away from a crash in his Tesla Model 3. The car caught fire. He found the manual release and escaped, but only because he'd read about it online beforehand. If you haven't, you won't find it. Check your car right now. Do you know where the manual release is? In a Tesla, it's tucked near the window controls. In other EVs, it varies by model, not labeled, not marked with glow-in-the-dark paint. And in a smoke-filled cabin, disoriented and injured, you have seconds. You won't find it in time. The NHTSA has received hundreds of complaints about electronic door lock failures. No federal mandate requiring mechanical backups that are clearly marked and accessible. They chose design over survival. And once you realize you're trapped, panic becomes the real enemy. This is why people die after the crash, and that's just the doors. What's actually causing the fires is far worse. Electric vehicles run on lithium-ion batteries, thousands of cells, massive energy storage. Damage those cells, puncture, crush, overheat, and they enter thermal runaway. The battery burns itself, doesn't need oxygen. Water won't stop it. Foam won't stop it. Once it starts, every second it spreads. Hot enough to melt metal. Hot enough that escape stops being possible. You won't know it started until it's already spreading. No warning light, no alarm. The first sign is smoke. You have seconds to act. The heat overwhelms you. The smoke burns your lungs. You're bleeding from the impact. Disoriented. Your body defaults to what feels obvious. You pull the door handle. Again and again. Nothing happens. 5 seconds gone. Maybe 10. Tunnel vision sets in. Your mind locks onto one action. Get the door open. Training doesn't matter. Panic overrides everything. In one documented case, a Rivian R1T crashed with a compromised battery. Fire started. Firefighters extinguished it. 15 minutes later, it reignited. They put it out again. 20 minutes later, it's back. They poured thousands of gallons of water on it. It kept burning anyway. You can't outrun something that starts inside the car with you. Even after the flames are out, the battery can reignite. Hours later, days later, EVs have caught fire in impound lots, in driveways, in repair shops. Your car could be sitting in your garage right now with a damaged cell you don't know about. First responders don't have the equipment. The protocol? Contain it. Let it burn. Wait. If you're inside when it starts, there is no waiting. The fire moves faster than you can think. And surviving the flames doesn't mean the danger is over. At this point, you're no longer injured. You're trapped. But even if you get out, even if you survive the fire, there's still one more threat already activated. Airbags save lives. That's the promise. And in most crashes, it's true. But they can also kill you. Takata airbags. Over 100 million recalled globally. At least 27 confirmed deaths. Takata used ammonium nitrate as a propellant. Cheaper, effective, but unstable. Over time it degrades, becomes volatile. When the airbag deploys, the propellant explodes with too much force. The metal canister ruptures. Shrapnel shoots into the cabin. People have been decapitated by their airbags. Malaysia, Texas, Florida. None of them knew their airbag was recalled. The company knew. Engineers were aware of the risk risks in 2004. They hid failures, kept selling them for over a decade. By the time recalls began, millions of vehicles were already affected. Honda, Toyota, BMW, Ford, Mercedes, tens of millions of those airbags are still out there. The danger isn't rare, it's normal. You might be driving one right now. Your car could have a Takata airbag installed. You wouldn't know unless you checked your VIN. Most people haven't. Some airbags still haven't been replaced. Owners don't know. Dealerships don't follow up. The airbag sits there, degrading, waiting. This danger exists before the crash. Every time you start your car, it's already there. And here's what makes it worse. It activates during the chaos. While you're trapped, while the fire is starting, while you're panicking, the airbag deploys in the same moment the door locks fail and the battery ignites. When you have no warning, no time to react, the thing designed to save you might be the thing that kills you. And here's where it all comes together, where every failure compounds into something almost inevitable. You probably think you'd react fast enough, that you'd know what to do, that muscle memory would kick in. Most people think that, and most people are wrong, because hesitation is what kills you, not the crash, not the fire, not the airbag. The 2 seconds you spend trying to understand what's happening. Now combine everything you just heard. You're in a modern electric vehicle, high safety rating, 5 stars, driving on the highway, another car runs a red light, T-bones you at 55 miles per hour. The impact triggers the airbags. They deploy. The crash damages the battery pack. Thermal runaway begins. You're disoriented. Ribs hurt from the airbag. You smell smoke. You reach for the door handle. Nothing happens. First choice, keep pulling the handle that isn't working, or search for a release you've never used in a cabin filling with smoke. Your instinct says pull harder. That's the wrong choice, but it's what you'll do. The electronic lock is dead. You finally look for the manual release. It's not where you expect it. No label. Smoke is thickening. Second choice, try to break the window or keep searching. If you choose wrong, you lose time you don't have. Every second you hesitate, the fire spreads. Your training, if you have any, doesn't matter. Your strength doesn't help. Your intelligence doesn't help. Your brain locks onto one thought, get out, but you can't think past the immediate action. Tunnel vision sets in. The natural response wastes the time you need to survive. Maybe you find the release, maybe you don't. But even if you do, even if you get the door open and stumble out onto the pavement, there's still one more variable. The airbag that just deployed. If it's a Takata unit, if it's been degrading in heat and humidity for years, you might not make it to the smoke. These systems exist in the same vehicles. Electronic locks and lithium-ion batteries and recalled airbags. They coexist, and when a crash happens, they all activate in the same 10 seconds. The crash doesn't kill you, the system does, and you only get one chance to realize that. No crash test measures all 3 failures at once. Nobody's asking what happens when the door won't open and the battery ignites and the airbag ruptures. Nobody's asking because nobody wants the answer. The NHTSA has investigated dozens of cases where multiple failures occurred simultaneously. Airbag deployment plus fire, electronic lock failure plus thermal runaway, entrapment plus explosion. Your car isn't just one risk, it's 3, and all 3 can fail in the same moment. Now here's the part that should scare you most. None of this is illegal, so what's actually being done about this? Let's talk about the regulations that don't exist. Here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no federal requirement for clearly marked, easy to access manual door releases in electric vehicles. There is no standardized protocol for first responders to handle EV battery fires. There is no mandate that airbag manufacturers disclose long-term propellant stability before deployment. The regulations we do have are outdated. They were written for gasoline engines and mechanical locks and airbags that didn't explode. The technology has evolved faster than the oversight, and the manufacturers know this. Tesla has been criticized repeatedly for burying manual releases in obscure locations. Their response: the releases are there, they're accessible. It's not their fault if people don't read the manual. But when your car is on fire, you don't have time to read the manual. The NHTSA can issue recalls, they can investigate crashes, but they can't force design changes until there's a proven pattern of failure. And by the time that pattern is proven, people are already dead. The Takata recalls took over a decade to fully implement. Some airbags still haven't been replaced. EV fire protocols are still being developed. Most fire departments are learning as they go. Electronic lock standards? Still under discussion. Meanwhile, the cars are already on the road, millions of them, with all of these systems installed, all of these risks compounded, and the people designing them are moving faster than the people regulating them. So here's where we are. You can survive the crash, you can walk away from the impact with nothing but bruises, and still die, trapped by electronics that failed, burned by a fire that can't be stopped, injured by the device meant to save you. This isn't about fear-mongering. This is about design, about priorities, about what gets engineered into a product when safety is balanced against cost, convenience, and aesthetics. Every time you get in your car, you're trusting that the people who built it made the right choices, but the evidence suggests they didn't. So here's my question for you. Do you know where your manual door release is? Have you checked if your airbags are recalled? Do you know what to do if your EV catches fire? Because the crash is just the beginning. What happens after is what you need to survive. Drop a comment if you've looked up your VIN, if you found the manual release in your car, if you've thought about this before today, and if this made you uncomfortable, good, because comfort is what gets people killed.